selfish. One winter's night, an old beggar woman asked the prince for shelter from the bitter cold. In return, she offered him a rose. Repulsed by the old woman, the unkind prince turned her away. The woman warned him not to be deceived by appearances, since beauty is found within. But when the prince dismissed her again, the old lady's ugliness melted away to reveal a beautiful enchantress. The prince tried to apologize, but it was too late. The enchantress knew there was no love in his heart. As punishment, the enchantress, that's a really hard word to say, enchantress, the enchantress transformed the prince into a hideous beast. Then she placed a powerful spell on the castle and all who lived there. The rose she had offered was an enchanted rose. It would bloom until the prince was 21. If he could learn to love and be loved before that last petal fell, then the spell would be broken. If not, he would remain a beast for all time. Ashamed of his monstrous form, the beast hid inside the castle. A magic mirror was his only window to the outside world. As the years passed, he fell into despair. He did not believe that anyone could ever love him. Slowly, the rose began to wither. In a nearby village, there lived a young girl named Belle. She was very beautiful, but Belle, unlike the other girls in the village, cared only for her books and always felt out of place. Her father, Maurice, was a reader of books too, but while Belle read about adventure and romance, her father studied technical books. Maurice was an inventor, a genius, according to Belle, a crackpot. Maurice was an inventor, a genius, according to Belle, a crackpot, according to the townsfolk. Belle is even stranger than her father, the villagers whispered. Her nose is always in a book, and her head is in the clouds. Gaston, the hunter, who was the handsomest man in town, wanted to make Belle his wife. No matter how many times she turned him down, Gaston would not take no for an answer. He was determined to wed the lovely Belle, even though she thought he was a brainless brute. One day, Maurice hitched his horse, Philip, to a wagon and set off to show his latest adventure at a faraway fair. With his mind on the fair, Maurice became lost in a misty forest. As an icy wind whistled through the trees, he suddenly heard an even more disturbing sound, the howling of wolves. Philip bolted and Maurice fell to the ground. To escape the wolves, the frightened man ran deeper and deeper into the woods. He came to a castle that seemed deserted and stumbled inside. There Maurice was greeted by Mrs. Potts, the teapot, Cogsworth, the mantel clock, and Lumiere, the candelabra. But before he had time to marvel over these strange creatures, an even stranger one appeared, the beast. When Maurice stared at the beast in horror, the beast howled angrily, and then he scooped Maurice up and carried him off to the dungeon. Meanwhile, realised that this was Maurice's captor, Belle begged the beast to free her father. When he refused, she bravely offered herself in Maurice's place. "No, Belle," Maurice cried, even as the beast said done. But before Belle could bid her father goodbye, the beast led her to her room. "The castle is now your home," he said gruffly. Belle was free to go anywhere she liked except the West Wing. "Will you join me for dinner?" the beast ordered. "That's not a request." Still Belle refused, and the beast stomped off in anger. That night Belle slipped out of her room and found her way to the forbidden West Wing. She discovered the beast's foul lair, but he was nowhere in sight. Belle was drawn to the enchanted rose she saw by the window. When she reached out to touch it, the beast suddenly appeared on the balcony outside the window. Belle screamed and fled from the room. Her heart pounding, Belle ran out of the castle, mounted Philippa, and fled into the night. But a pack of wolves. Can't really speak today. But a pack of wolves soon had the girl and her horse surrounded. Belle was helpless. She knew that death was near. Suddenly the beast was there, throwing the wolves aside. A terrible snarling and howling sounded as the beast and the wolves battled for their lives. At last the wolves ran off into the woods, but the beast lay in the snow, badly injured. Back at the castle, Belle gently bound the beast's wounds. Gently as she was, the beast roared in agony. "I barely touched you," said Belle. Then she saw a look of pain on his face. "I forgot to say thank you for saving my life," she added softly. The beast only grunted in reply, but when Belle turned away, the hint of a smile could be seen on his face. In the days that followed, the beast tried to be a proper host. He showed Belle his library where they read together, and she in return began to teach him how to act like a gentleman. "Perhaps isn't too late," Cogsworth whispered to Mrs. Potts and her son Chip the teacup. If Belle could only love the beast, this dreadful spell might yet be broken. The winter passed pleasantly for Belle and the beast. Belle thought of the beast as her dearest friend. He thought of little but the beautiful Belle. One night, while Belle was teaching him to dance, the beast stammered, "Belle, are you happy here with me?" "Yes," said Belle without hesitation, but the beast saw a trance of sadness in her eyes. Then Belle added, "If only I could see my father again, even for 1 minute." "You can," the beast said, handing her a magic mirror. Belle gazed into it for there was Maurice trudging through the forest, but he looked frail and old, even as she watched her father collapsed into a heap. "I must go to him," Belle cried. "He might be dying." The beast heard her anguished plea. "I release you," he said sadly, "but take the mirror. Then you will always have a way to look back and remember me." With the magic mirror to guide her, Belle soon found her father, but their happy reunion was cut short with a pounding on the cottage door. "We've come to take Maurice to Mason's saloons," announced Maurice has been raving that you were imprisoned by a hideous beast. He said only a crazy man with such a tale. But it is true, Belle protested. Her worried eyes searched the angry crowd and lit on Gaston. Gaston, she cried, you know my father isn't crazy, tell them. Gaston quickly drew Belle to one side and he whispered that he might be able to calm the crowd if Belle would promise to marry him. Never, Belle exclaimed, and my father is not crazy. There really is a beast and I can prove it. She turned to the crowd. Look into the mirror and see. The townspeople looked at the beast's reflection and grew frightened. Gaston was furious. His plan would be foiled. We must hunt down the savage animal, he cried, stirring up the mob. Who's with me? We are, answered the villagers. After locking Belle and her father in the cellar of a cottage, the villagers rode off to storm the beast's castle. Luckily, Chip, Mrs. Potts' son, had stowed away in Belle's saddlebag. After the villagers were gone, he used Maurice's latest invention to release Belle and her father from the cellar. By the time Belle reached the castle, the townspeople had broken in. Gaston and the beast were in a mortal duel on the castle roof. The beast managed to knock Gaston's weapon from his hand, but there was nothing to stop him from killing Gaston. Nothing but the beast's own humanity. Gaston screamed for mercy. The beast grunted and turned away from his foe. Then Belle watched helplessly as Gaston rose up and plunged a knife into the beast's back. The beast roared in pain, frightening Gaston, backing away from the wounded beast. The hunter lost his footing and fell off the roof into the fog below. Broken-hearted, Belle flew to the beast's side. You came back, said the beast weakly. At least I can see you one last time. No, I'll see you guys